Can you solve this question? Let's see how to solve this. 10 pens are of 50 rupees. 1 pen will be of 50 upon 10, which is 5 rupees. If 1 pen is of 5 rupees, then 2 pens will be of 10. 2 into 5. 3 pens, 3 into 5, 15. Therefore, 6 pens will be of 30 rupees. This is called unitary method because first we are calculating price of 1 pen in order to find the price of 6 pens, the required quantity. Let's see the definition. What is unitary method? Unit means 1. Unitary method is a method to find value of required quantity by first finding value of 1 unit. Like in this example, question was 10 pens are of 50 rupees, 6 pens are of how much? So first we calculated price of 1 pen. Price of 1 pen would be 50 divided by 10, we get 5 rupees. Then value of the required quantity 6 pens is price of 1 pen multiplied by 6. So 6 pens will be 5 into 6, so 30 rupees. This is unitary method. There are two variations for this, direct variation and inverse variation. In direct variation, if quantity increases, value also increases, and quantity decreases and value also decreases. So the arrow is always in the same direction for both quantity and value. In inverse variation, it is opposite. If quantity increases, value decreases. If quantity decreases, value increases. Let's look at examples. Number of pens is directly proportional to price. The more pens we buy, the more the price will be. Next, speed and distance. These are also directly proportional. If the speed is more of the car, the greater distance it can travel in a given time. Third, workers and amount of work done. If there are more workers, then more amount of work can be done. Let's look at inverse variations. Workers and number of days of completion. If the workers are more, then the number of days required for completing the work will be less. So more the workers, less number of days it will take to complete. And next is speed and time. If the speed of the car is more, the lesser the time it will take to reach its destination. Okay, let's look at some example sums for direct variation. Now before we start this, there are two methods to solve any sum. One is manual method, another is arrow method. We will solve the sum in both the methods. Let's start with the manual method. It is the same method which we have solved before. A man earns 400 rupees in 10 days. How much will he earn in 28 days? The quantity is 10 days and value is 400 rupees. Quantity 10 days, value 400 rupees. We need to identify first whether it is direct variation or inverse variation. So let's check. For direct variation, quantity and value should be in the same direction. So if quantity increases, value also should increase. Let's check that. So a man earns 400 rupees in 10 days. That means the more amount of days he works, the more the money he will get. That means this is direct variation. So we can solve now. So we can write as quantity increases, value also increases, therefore it is direct variation. In 10 days he is earning 400 rupees. Let's find out how much he earns in 1 day. First we calculate the value of 1 unit. We can write if 10 days 400 rupees, then 1 day will be 400 divided by 10, which is 40 rupees. Now what are they asking? How much will he earn in 28 days? We can simply multiply it by how much he earns in 1 day. 28 days earning is equal to 28 multiplied by 1 day earnings. Therefore, we get 28 multiplied by 40, 1120. Okay, now let's look at the arrow method. Arrow method is very straightforward. So we just first make a table of quantity and value. Quantity is days and value is earning. Now we can just write what is given in the question. 10 days earning is 400 rupees. Then how much will he earn in 28 days? So we can write 28 days is question mark, which is X. First step is to make a downward arrow here. Always make a downward arrow here. Now here this side, whether you make downward or upward will depend on whether it is direct or inverse. If it is direct in variation, then the arrow will be in the same direction downwards. If it is inverse variation, the arrow will be in upward direction. So since this is direct variation, we can write the same direction, downward arrow. After we have made the arrows, we have to make an equation. So first see the right side, head upon tail. X upon 400 is equal to head upon tail, 28 upon 10. We have formed the equation. Now we will just shift 400 this side. We get X is equal to 28 upon 10 multiplied by 400. We can cancel the 0 and then we get X is equal to again 1120. We get the same answer in both the methods. This one is much more easy. It is straightforward. You just have to follow step by step. So let's recap. In this method, we first find value of one quantity and then we get the value of required quantity, which is 28. Here we make the arrows first and then we do head upon tail on right side first equal to left side head upon tail, and then we just find the value of X. Let's look an example sum of inverse variation now. 4 men can do a piece of work in 5 days. How many men will do it in 4 days? Okay, let's start with manual method. So days is the quantity, value is the men. So number of days is the quantity, value is men. In 5 days, work is done by 4 men. In 1 day, the work will be done by, it will take more number of men. So we multiply now. Instead of dividing, we multiply. So we get 5 into 4, which is 20. Therefore, for 4 days, men will be 20 upon 4. 20 divided by 4. Because as the number of days increases, we require less number of men to finish that work. So we get 20 upon 4, which is 5. So the answer is 5 men. Let's look at arrow method. So we make a table first, quantity, value. Now, what is given in the question? 5 days, 4 men can do it. And how many men for 4 days? So for 4 days, how many men will be required? Let's call it X. Now let's make the arrow. So always there will be a downward arrow on this side. Since it is an inverse variation, the arrow will be upwards. Now we just make an equation, head upon tail is equal to head upon tail. So we get X is equal to 5 upon 4 multiplied by 4. It gets cut. Answer is again 5 men. Thank you guys for watching.